Much of our ocean remains a tranquil mystery, wrapped in blue-black silence, where giants softly glide and curious shapes drift through ancient liquid night. Let your thoughts settle, weightless and slow, as you float into quiet realms beneath the waves, where whales and marvelous deep-sea creatures move gently through the cold, endless dark. Tonight, let's drift together through some of their strangest, most wonderful truths, carried by currents older than memory. Beneath the surface of our familiar world, the ocean becomes a vast, cool wilderness, its distances measured just as much in silence as in light. In this world, whales sing songs heard across entire ocean basins, and tiny creatures blink with their own secret glow. Below the sunlit shallows, beneath layers cold and clear, life grows quiet and peculiar, shaped by the hush and the weight of water. As you rest, imagine your thoughts drifting slowly down, past the gentle rocking of kelp forests, past the glittering shoals, into deeper and more shadowed blue. Down here time slows, becoming almost circular. Whales pass by as pale, ancient shadows and bioluminescent creatures flash softly in the distance, never in a hurry. In this episode, we will rest gently among them, letting each true wonder of the deep unfold, unhurried and calm. Settle in and let each fact become a gentle wave, washing softly through your mind. Before we drift off, a quiet note: if these journeys help you sleep, subscribing is a gentle way to keep them coming. Now, settle in, let your eyes grow heavy, and let's begin. Blue whales, the largest animals ever to have lived on Earth, move through the ocean with a silence that belies their enormity. Weighing as much as 180 metric tons, their hearts alone are roughly the size of a small rowboat, pulsing quietly through the darkness. Their voices reach farther underwater than any other animal, carrying songs that linger for hundreds, sometimes even thousands, of kilometers beneath the calm surface. Their songs roll so low and slow that many people, standing on the deck of a ship, would never even sense their presence below. Only with special underwater microphones can scientists detect the far-traveling melodies. The sound waves pass through layers of cold water, bending gently, and the song becomes part of the long echoing memory of the ocean. Few realize that each blue whale song is unique to its population, stretching across the vastness of the ocean as a signature of family, place, and time. As the world's oceans change slowly, so too do the whales' songs. Scientists have gently discovered the pitch has been dropping, year by quiet passing year, for reasons still not fully understood. While blue whales drift slowly through the deep, somewhere in the twilight lies another gentle marvel: the sperm whale, whose great, squared head holds the largest brain in the animal kingdom. The sperm whale's brain weighs about 5 times as much as a human's, yet their thoughts remain shielded behind calm, slow eyes and the hush of deep waters. Sperm whales dive deeper than any other whale, often gliding more than a kilometer below the surface. In these cold, ink-black depths, their bodies slow, their hearts beat just a few times a minute, and their world is mapped entirely through sound. They click and pulse, sending out bursts that can travel vast distances, listening for the ghostly echoes that return. And stranger still, their social lives are woven quietly from click patterns called codas, each group of whales sharing its own distinctive rhythm and accent. Within these tight-knit families, the youngest calves rest with their mothers, floating sleepily in vertical columns, their heads bobbing quietly above the deeper blue. Making our way deeper still, we meet the enigma of the colossal squid, known mostly by the gentle traces it leaves, strange scars found on the skin of great whales, and the rare remains that drift upward from the dark. The colossal squid's eyes are the largest of any creature on the planet, roughly the size of dinner plates, adapted to capture even the faintest traces of light in the abyss. Somewhere far below the waves, these enormous eyes watch for shadows, letting the squid sense whales or drifting prey long before either can get too close. Their supple limbs are studded with swiveling hooks, evolved to delicately grasp or hold in the dark. Yet rarely do we catch more than a fleeting glimpse of these mysterious animals in their own world. Their lives pass in a realm so removed from sunlight that scientists know them mostly through what washes up, sometimes a single tentacle, sometimes transparent beaks the size of a person's hand. Each fragment lifts the curtain just a little on a world as quiet as outer space. While the giants slowly swim, most of the deep is filled with smaller, stranger travelers. Among these, the vampire squid survives where oxygen grows thin and the only light comes from luminous sparkles. In the blackness between continents, vampire squid drift gently, using barely any energy, quietly unbothered by currents that sweep through their world. Their name suggests something fearsome, but these animals are soft and unhurried. With webs stretching between their arms like a gossamer cloak, vampire squid fold themselves into sleepy balls when threatened, cloaked in their own glowing clouds, shimmering softly before drifting away. They do not hunt their food like other squid. Instead, vampire squid gently collect sinking bits of marine snow, tiny particles of dead plankton, and drifting bacteria, using stickiness and patience rather than speed. Every night, in the world's largest migration, clouds of creatures drift upward in search of food, only to drift back as the sun returns. As you drift deeper into rest, consider the quiet marvel of the Greenland shark, a creature as ancient as the icy waters it calls home. Greenland sharks grow so slowly that many alive now first began swimming hundreds of years ago, before ships crossed polar seas. The oldest may be around 400 years old, making them the longest-living vertebrates known to science. They move through the Arctic dark almost imperceptibly, their bodies shrouded in slow calm, so cold that every heartbeat is a deliberate act. Greenland sharks retain urea and other compounds in their flesh, helping them survive where water approaches freezing. The deep, cold ocean around them has shaped their every gentle movement through time. For centuries, few people glimpsed Greenland sharks, except when a rare one drifted close to shore. They move at a pace that seems to defy time, sometimes only a mile or two per hour, remaining deep mysteries, gentle shadows among the drifting ice and silent currents. In the very darkest layers of the sea, thousands of meters down, it is the light itself that turns strange and secret. Here, many creatures create their own gentle glows, casting pale blues and greens into the ink. Bioluminescence is not rare in the deep sea. It is the rule, not the exception. Anglerfish are iconic among these, with a small fishing lure that grows from their foreheads, tipped with bioluminescent bacteria. This pale light beckons quietly for prey, a flicker in the blackness, while the anglerfish remains nearly still, a shadow with a single twinkling secret. Their world is a place where most things are hidden, where even the faintest shine can be a lifeline or a warning. Many anglerfish, including deep-sea species, live lives of gentle patience, sometimes waiting days for a meal, making every moment stretch slowly across the cold expanse. Somewhere among these glowing wonders swim siphonophores, some of the longest creatures ever discovered. Unlike most animals, a siphonophore is a colony, hundreds or thousands of tiny, specialized bodies joined into a single drifting form, extended through the water like a dream or a living string of lights. One species, Praya Dubia, can reach lengths up to 40 meters or more, longer than a blue whale, though most people have never heard its name. Siphonophores move slowly, almost invisibly, pulsing like ghostly ribbons that shimmer and fade, sometimes stretching as long as a city bus in the hush of deep black water. They harvest delicate plankton using stinging tentacles that hang beneath their luminous bodies. Each colony member has a role, working in quiet coordination, bound together by threads finer than silk, all drifting at the mercy of the slow, eternal ocean currents. While you settle in, picture the remarkable narwhal quietly weaving through cold Arctic waters. Narwhals are the unicorns of the sea, famous for the single spiraled tusk that can reach nearly 3 meters in length, a gentle extrusion of the left tooth, spiraling outward as the animal ages. Scientists have learned that this tusk isn't just for display. It is alive with millions of nerve endings, allowing narwhals to sense their watery environment in exquisite detail, from temperature to possibly tasting changes in salinity, all through this strange, sensitive spiral. Swimming in, around, and beneath the shifting ice, narwhals form small, loose groups. In the pale Arctic light, they surface for air, sometimes surrounded by the quiet, eerie glow of northern twilight. Few animals are more mysterious in appearance or more delicately attuned to their frozen blue world. Deep beneath tropical seas lives another gentle marvel, the glass octopus. Its body is almost entirely transparent, apart from its nervously beating eyes and a few pale lines where its organs nestle. The rest of its form is nearly invisible, hidden from both prey and predator alike. The glass octopus moves with delicate, nearly invisible ripples through the water column, its nearly transparent arms drifting like pale threads. Its organs, heart, liver, and eyes, are suspended in shimmering clarity, giving scientists an unfiltered view of an animal that can seem to vanish at will. It spends its days far from shore, in the open blue, rising and falling with the gentle pull of the tides. For much of its life, the glass octopus remains unstudied, seen by human eyes only a handful of times. Some mysteries from the deep, it seems, are content to remain mostly hidden. Returning to the realm of giants, consider the humpback whale and its mysterious journeys. These animals are among the greatest travelers of the animal world, swimming up to 16,000 kilometers each year as they migrate between feeding and breeding grounds, a restless rhythm older than memory. As they travel, humpback whales produce some of the most complex songs ever found in non-human animals. Their haunting melodies, lasting up to 30 minutes each, are sung by males and passed along in ever-evolving patterns, a slow, drifting music that lingers through tropical shallows and chilly polar seas alike. Year by year, the song changes, new notes and phrases appearing, old ones vanishing into the blue. In some places, thousands of whales will sing the very same tune, gradually adopting unexpected variants, creating a gentle, ocean-wide chorus that evolves more quickly than most other forms of animal communication. Somewhere between the deep warmth and cold gloom, the oarfish quietly glides by. Considered the likely source behind old mariners' tales of sea serpents, an oarfish can stretch up to 11 meters in length, its ribbon-like form undulating gracefully through the quiet blue. It is rarely seen alive, almost always sighted only after storms. Oarfish spend their days in the deep twilight zone, hundreds of meters below the surface, rising occasionally but never in haste. With no scales, their bodies shimmer in the gloom, reflecting what faint light manages to reach so far below. Everything about their movement is peaceful, slow, and dreamlike. Even their gentle, undulating fins suggest the movement of something imagined, a quietly flowing ribbon in the undisturbed vastness. While few people have ever seen a living oarfish in its natural home, their presence lingers in the sea's oldest stories and in the calm, shifting silence of the deep. Further down in the quiet layers, the barrel-eye fish stares upward through a crystal-clear dome on its head. This see-through shield protects a pair of delicate, tubular eyes, which can swivel upward to spot prey silhouetted against faint patches of light, and then forward to track the smallest movements in near-total darkness. For many years, scientists believed the barrel-eye's eyes were fixed in place. Only in the last 2 decades did remote cameras confirm that, in fact, these glowing emerald tubes can gently rotate inside the head, offering the fish a rare and peaceful adaptability in constant darkness. Their bodies remain mostly motionless, catching whatever marine snow or drifting creatures float within reach. Watching a barrel-eye drift through black water, you realize how life can grow astonishingly specialized for the hush and silence of the deep, all without ever causing a stir. As you relax deeper, let yourself imagine the Dumbo octopus, so named for the gentle fins that look a little like the soft ears of a cartoon elephant. These gentle beings drift slowly through the world's deepest places, so far down that few rays of sunlight ever penetrate, and pressure climbs to unimaginable calm. Their bodies are nearly gelatinous, able to survive at depths below 7 0.000 meters. Dumbo octopuses do not jet away in alarm. Instead, they tame the currents with the gentle flapping of their soft, rounded fins. Every movement is slow and almost playful, a ballet of softness through endless blue silence. Few creatures can thrive at such crushing depths, yet Dumbo octopuses move effortlessly. When seen by submersibles, they float with a serene curiosity, unbothered by the faint beams of artificial light. Strange and delicate, they are an emblem for how quietly surprising the deepest ocean can truly be. All around these dreamlike beings, the ocean's midnight zone is softly alive with subtle flashes and cool silences. Some of the tiniest animals, like copepods and comb jellies, fill the open water with trails of soft blue and pale green light, flashing and fading like drifting stars in the great deep night. Comb jellies, in particular, display rows of beating cilia, tiny, hair-like paddles that catch and scatter light. This can create rainbow waterfalls along their bodies, each gentle ripple a blend of ghostly color among the shadows, as if the sea itself were quietly breathing light. This natural light show, known as iridescence and bioluminescence, serves many quiet purposes, attracting mates, confusing would-be predators, or simply marking a gentle path through the endless darkness. Each glow is a whisper in the slow, secret conversation that fills the deepest ocean's silence. Even the ocean floor, far from all sun and storm, is not as empty as it seems. Here, ghostly white crabs and blind shrimp tiptoe over black volcanic rocks near hydrothermal vents, where warmth seeps gently from the planet's hidden heart. Entire ecosystems form around these silent chimneys, living only by the faint heat and minerals that bubble upward. These creatures thrive by harnessing chemical energy, not sunlight, a slow, distant cousin to the forests and fields above. Bacteria and giant tube worms weave a web of quiet life in the warm shadows, coloring the darkness with rust red and snowy white, shaping communities that can survive for decades in utter isolation. With every gentle detail, the deep ocean reveals itself less as an empty abyss and more as a realm of lingering marvels. Each whale's song, each flicker of light, each careful movement is a story told in silence and shadow, written in the patient rhythm of the sea. Drifting ever downward, you descend through hazy darkness where water pressure grows, cloaking all in violet blue twilight. Here, the giant squid glides, its arms adorned with tiny, sensitive suckers. Unlike surface hunters, it relies on faint traces, its wide eyes tuned to the briefest glimmer and shadow. In this silence, each movement is slow, calculated, as if time stretches into the deep itself. Silent battles with sperm whales unfold in these hidden reaches, leaving only mysterious scars and drifting clouds of ink as hints of the ceaseless dance below. Far beneath thundering waves, the deep sea is not still but alive with intricate signals. Whales singing in low, rumbling phrases send their voices over whole undersea valleys. The blue whale, largest soul on Earth, chooses notes that last for minutes, sounding like the slow rolling of distant thunder. Sound travels farther here than almost anywhere else, curving with currents for hundreds, sometimes thousands, of quiet miles. To many of these creatures, the world is heard, not seen, an invisible map drawn with sound. While you settle further, the slow-moving Greenland shark makes its journey. This ancient swimmer glides slowly through icy blackness, moving only as much as needed, often unnoticed by all but the patient researchers above. Scientists believe some of these sharks have drifted for centuries, their lives unfolding at a pace almost beyond human measurement, a living, gentle mystery beneath the slow dance of currents and cold. From time to time, volcanic heat rises from cracks in the planet's crust, forming hydrothermal vents. Around these, a strange oasis blooms in total darkness. Tube worms, their feathery plumes gathering minerals from drifting water, create forests without sunlight. Whole communities gather here, pieced together from species that have never seen the sky. They survive on warmth and chemical nourishment, lighting up the ocean's floor with tiny flickers of unlikely life. Somewhere right now, a parade of lanternfish drifts upward, their bellies glowing with pale light. Each carries its own subtle lantern, a guide through the darkness and a signal to nearby kin. This nightly migration, a slow rising from cold depths toward the surface, knits together life both above and below, as countless mouths reach for drifting threads of food suspended in the gentle mystery between day and night, sun and shadow. Somewhere in the distant dark, filter-feeding giants known as baleen whales glide slowly through the water, their mouths agape to capture tiny drifting life. Instead of teeth, these immense beings rely on comb-like plates that gently strain krill, copepods, and clouds of plankton from the sea. As they move, a hush of bubbles trails around them, and soft sunlight can sometimes filter down through the blue in faint, dappled ribbons. Each meal is quiet, each motion unhurried, a dance tuned to the rhythms of deep time, where patience becomes the key to survival. Under pressure that would crush the strongest steel, the bodies of creatures in the abyssal plane have become repositories of clever design. Their bones, if they have them, carry just enough mineral to give form, but never enough to shatter. The muscles and tissues are soft, more like a slow-moving liquid than solid flesh, so these animals simply yield to the weight of the water. Every adaptation is a whisper of resilience, shaped quietly over millions of years, held together by the steady darkness and steady cold. The slow giants of the deep, such as the blue whale, carry with them stories written in their very bones. Scientists have found that the layers in a whale's earwax can reveal years of migration, pause, and renewal, ring by patient ring, much like the inside of an ancient tree. Even long after they are gone, these physical records endure in the quiet, cold darkness on the seafloor, preserving safe traces of lives lived in vast, dreaming waters. Between the press of the abyss and the whisper-thin layers above, a world of drifting snow falls silently through the black. Marine snow, as it is called, is made of minuscule remnants, flakes of plankton, fragments of shell, and crystals of salt, drifting downward, never rushing, blanketing the deep in a constant, gentle shower. This slow rain of nourishment connects the surface to the depths, weaving life together in quiet and unseen ways. As you drift now, imagine yourself floating just beneath the surface of this hidden world, weightless and protected by its quiet enormity. The whales continue their endless songs, The glowing creatures pulse in slow, eternal patterns, and all around you is the ancient, timeless calm of the deep. Every fact from this underwater realm lingers gently in the mind, like distant music or a soft, luminous memory, growing fainter as you move towards sleep. You are held for a moment by the vast, cradling hush of the ocean, by the truth that even in the darkest waters, wonder endures. Let the silence deepen. Rest now, knowing that somewhere in the blue-black quiet, the gentle giants are still passing and the starlight still glimmers far below. If these gentle wonders helped you float towards sleep, consider subscribing to Sleepy Facts. We'll be here, softly drifting through more true marvels whenever you need a calm companion on your way to dreams.